Hello everybody. Alright, how do I even start this video? I'm in a pretty foul mood and I have been for the last 12 hours or so because I am supposed to be in Kathmandu, Nepal right now. But where am I? In Doha, Qatar. Yeah, so today I was supposed to be flying to Kathmandu from London and I had specifically booked my flight with Qatar Airways just because I heard that getting into Kathmandu can be a bit of a faff, and so I was like, okay, do you know what? I'm going to spend a little extra on an airline that I trust and that I really like to hopefully make my journey as smooth as possible. So I chose Qatar Airways, and the layover for this flight in Hamad International Airport in Doha was 1 hour 45, which is not a super long layover. However, I have flown with Qatar a million times before with much shorter layovers than that, and I've never had any issues. So I didn't even think anything of it. And it was also long enough where I was like, okay, that if there's a bit of a delay, they might like wait for the connecting flight or something like this. For the first time ever, I have missed my connecting flight, not just in Qatar, but anywhere in the world. This has never happened to me before. And so I wanted to just make this video sharing with you my experience of just what happens when you miss your connecting flight. Specifically in Doha with Qatar Airlines, because I can't speak for other airlines, but this is my experience with them. But before I get into this story, let me tell you about the lovely sponsors of today's video, because a missed connection or not, there is no way I'd be going through any airport without them. Surfshark are a VPN, which stands for Virtual Private Network, and the big reason you need this when going through any airport is because when you connect to the airport free public Wi-Fi network, which I know you will do it, your device is at risk of being hacked via that connection. Pretty scary, right? Well, luckily there is a very quick and easy solution. When you switch your Surfshark VPN on, it acts as a private shield on your connection so that none of those hackers can get in. Not only that, but Surfshark allows you to switch the virtual location of your device to pretty much anywhere in the world. Have you ever had an error message on a service or media that you're trying to access on the internet that says it isn't available in your country? Kind of sucks, doesn't it? Or did you know that with the click of a button, you could just switch your virtual location to a country where that media or service is available, and with a quick refresh, you immediately have access. It's like magic, really. And Surfshark are one of the only VPNs which gives you access on an unlimited number of your devices with just the one account. And finally, I have an amazing discount where you can get 4 extra months of Surfshark for free when you go to surfshark.com/backpacking, or you can just click the link in the description. So it was weird because it didn't even seem like my initial flight from London to Doha was that delayed. We ended up taking off about half an hour to 45 minutes after the departure time, which didn't concern me at all because often that is quite normal and like you make up time in the air and things and you end up arriving on time anyway. But for some reason, despite taking off like half an hour later, maybe there was something going on in the air that I am unaware of, or we had to take a weird path. But we ended up landing into Qatar at the exact same time that my next flight was supposed to be departing. And I couldn't believe them when they told me. They were like, "Welcome to Doha International Airport. The time is 1:15 a.m. And I was like, 1:15? That's the time of my next flight. So I was pretty confident before even getting off the flight that I would have missed it. And so I wasn't particularly stressed because I was thinking, even if I try to hurry at this point, I think I've already missed it. So all I need to make sure that I do is just head to the right people on the ground so that I'm sorted with appropriately. So we walked off the flight. It was one of those annoying circumstances where you get off the flight and onto a bus and then they take you to a terminal. So the bus took us to the terminal, and shortly after getting inside, we went up the escalator and there was a guy standing there with a sheet of paper with just a few destinations on his list, and Kathmandu was one of them. And I thought that this would be the case because I've seen this before with other people. If your flight is delayed, you have a short connection, you're about to miss it, you have someone who like escorts you straight to your next flight. And so I was really happy when I saw him with the sign that said Kathmandu. I was like, yes, that's me. And I was like thinking, oh great, they're gonna take me to my next flight. No, he had me stand with him and a bunch of others for like 10-15 minutes, and then he just handed me a new boarding pass, and I was like, what? Because I looked and this flight to Kathmandu was at 5 p.m. the next day in like 18 to 20 hours what it was at this point, and I was like, no. So anyway, he gave me my new boarding pass, made sure that my luggage tag was transferred from my old boarding pass to my new one, so that I still had my baggage receipt. And then he said, but stay with me, and he held onto my passport, and I had to follow him somewhere else. And then in another area we had to wait 10-15 minutes, and then he came back and he gave all of us these hotel vouchers, because obviously at this point it's like 2 a.m. and my flight's not till 5 p.m. So we're not just going to wait around in the airport or just like lone in the city until that time. They put you up in a hotel for free. So let me show you the voucher. The voucher looks like this. So they obviously use your passport to process this whole thing, and on it says the name of my hotel, which is the Royal Riviera Hotel. I did not know anything about this hotel at the time. It says room type single, reason for hotel accommodation, misconnection, inbound delay, transportation, hotel courtesy, meal allowance, Qatar money 175. So it says the meals to the effect of the above mentioned value can be claimed at the hotel on a complimentary basis. Any meal ordered / consumed in excess of the above given value will require to be paid directly by the guest. The above given value of meal allowance is non-refundable. And I looked at my XE currency app, and that is about £36. And I was thinking, I'm pretty sure Doha is quite an expensive country, and I don't think £36 is going to take me very far in terms of meals. But when I arrived at the hotel, they said that they have a complimentary buffet breakfast and buffet lunch. So I think, and I could be wrong, that Qatar money 175, that £36, is in addition to those 3 meals. So we'll give that a go a little bit later. But anyway, we're going to backtrack. So I've been given this hotel voucher. They were like, right, you've just got to leave the airport, go through immigration, and just be on your way. And I was like, okay. So I just trotted off towards baggage claim at the Doha International Airport. I went through immigration and I presented them this, and they actually stamped it. It says the passenger copy of the voucher stamped by Qatar Immigration will be provided for your entry into Doha. It must be retained for immigration clearance on departure. So I really need to keep hold of this. The immigration queue wasn't actually bad at all. I wasn't picking any luggage up from baggage reclaim because they told me that my checked-in bag was still going straight to Kathmandu, which is kind of nice, but at the same time I was like, oh shit, I've now got almost 24 hours in Doha with no fresh clothes. So it is the next day and I am wearing yesterday's clothes from the flight. But despite the fact that going through immigration and everything was pretty swift, it then just slowed down a lot, and I was just in the worst mood because it's like 2:30 a.m. at this point. When I got out into arrivals, I just started wandering around, assuming I knew where I was going, where I really didn't. I think I was just feeling a bit delusional, but I was holding this in my hand, and one of the security staff of the airport just saw me and was just like, come with me, I'll show you where you need to go. I was like, okay, thank you. I guess I was kind of secretly hoping that would happen. Or I could have gone straight to the information desk and I also would have got to the right place. Anyway, we then had to wait in arrivals for another like 20 minutes to half an hour with this guy who was just gathering all of us who were staying at the same hotel with these like hotel vouchers. And then eventually he got us all into a shuttle bus. And then the shuttle took us to the hotel, which is actually in the middle of the city. It was like a 20-minute journey, which surprised me. And then we checked in for the hotel and there was even more waiting. So there was about 20 of us in total. We all had to give in our passports. We had to wait for our names to be called, and then we would get our room keys. And I had to wait about another half an hour. I was the last person to be called. It felt like such a long process, and I was just getting increasingly more like tired and in a bad mood because at this point it's like 3 a.m. I was like, I am so done. And he gave me my room key and I got to my room. Now, in this whole waiting process, I had posted on my Instagram story saying that I'd missed my connection and that I had to spend a night in Doha. And I had quite a few DMs from people saying, oh my God, I had the worst experience doing this. They were like, have they put you in the Royal Riviera Hotel? Because that is the absolute worst one. They treat you so badly. The rooms are terrible. And people were saying to me, if they put you in this hotel, ask to change. And this is me receiving these DMs whilst now being in the Royal Riviera Hotel. Just going, oh no, there's nothing I can do about it now. I'm here. How was I supposed to know? So my expectations at that point for the room were very, very low. However, I got into my room and I don't don't hate it. Do you want to see? So starting at my front door, I have a full-length mirror. Walking in, it looks like a very traditional hotel room. I have a really nice big desk area, somewhere to put my luggage or lack thereof. I have a nice big double bed, which I slept in last night, and it was actually very comfortable. I have power sockets either side of my bed. They have given me complimentary water and coffee and tea with a kettle. There's a nice armchair here. This is where I'm sitting and talking to you, but this one normally lives here. I have a view out onto part of Doha. I mean, it's pretty much just a car park. It's not that exciting, but I don't know, it's not terrible either. I have a TV, which no doubt I won't turn on because I never turn on TVs. Wardrobe area. Very big ensuite. I haven't showered yet, but I will. And that's the room, a few complimentary toiletries. And so yes, expectations were low for this because of what everyone said, but I am not mad about this hotel. So far. So as you can imagine, I went to sleep as soon as I arrived in this room. However, I had set my alarm for like 9:45 because I was told that the buffet breakfast finishes at 10:30 and I didn't want to miss it. I already went to bed feeling pretty hungry because I hadn't eaten in a while since then. So I was like, I'm not missing the breakfast. So I got up this morning. I'm so tired. I slept for like 6 hours, which is actually sounds like not too bad, but I don't know, I'm just completely out of whack. But a hotel breakfast buffet finishes in 20 minutes at 10:30 and I don't want to miss it. That's one of my free meals here. So I'm gonna get some clothes on and go to the buffet breakfast. So the buffet breakfast, it's not the best, but it's definitely not the worst. It wasn't bad at all, actually. I've got myself a coffee. It was just a Nescafe coffee, so that's not overly exciting. And then they had a man who did like the eggs. So I asked him to make me a mushroom and tomato omelette. I had a few options in terms of what was in it. And then I just have another plate of like hummus and cream cheese. I've got some cucumber and carrots to dip in, and also some vegetable fried rice. You know when you're just in like these random countries at their buffet breakfast and they have rogue things that you would never normally have for breakfast. But when in Rome, when in Doha, I don't know where to start. I'm definitely one of the last ones to rock up for breakfast though. They're just clearing up around me. I'm sorry, I needed to sleep. I only got into my room at like 3:30, so forgive me for not waking up until 10. So now I'm back from breakfast and just deciding like what to do with myself. I'm quite proud of myself actually. So most of my fresh clothes, or almost all of them, are in my checked-in luggage, which I was like, oh no. People always tell you to like pack your hand luggage for these unforeseen circumstances. And to be honest, I've done it a lot of times and just never ever needed it. And then when I was packing for this trip, I wasn't even thinking about the possibility that this might happen, but I'm quite proud of myself because I think naturally I did manage to pack a few useful things in my hand luggage, some of which being my pajamas, so I was able to wear those last night. We have my underwear packing cube, which I'm like, hallelujah. I was really like wondering if I had this one because I was like, oh, I've got no clean underwear. Unfortunately, I don't have any of my contact lenses, so we are going to be rocking glasses for the next 24 hours. By some miracle, I do have this packing cube, which has my swimsuit in. I only brought one swimsuit on this trip, and apparently there is a rooftop pool in this hotel. This was another thing that someone DM'd me going, oh, the pool isn't even open and it's terrible at that hotel, da 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 da. But I asked the reception last night, I was like, do you have a pool? And he was like, yeah, it opens at 8. And I was like, oh. So we're gonna go check that out in a bit. I obviously have my laptop and my electronics, so I can work if I need to. And then what's this final packing cube? Okay, it's some socks and bras and things. Do you know what? I'm really not mad at myself at the things I've managed to pack in this hand luggage. It could be better. I would love to be wearing some like clean clothes. I would also love some deodorant. I'm gonna stink today because it's gonna be sweaty in Qatar as well. Oh, and finally, it would have been nice if I had packed some shoes because I'm in my hiking boots. I only bought 2 pairs of shoes on this whole trip, which was my hiking boots and my sandals. But because I wore my hiking boots on the plane, my sandals are in the... Oh my God, that was hard. My sandals are in my checked-in luggage. So if I do go roaming out in Doha, or even just to the rooftop pool, guess what's going to be on my feet? Hiking boots. So it's now 11:30. I've had the buffet breakfast. The buffet lunch is from 12:30 to 3:30. So I'll probably head there around 2:30 for a later lunch, which means that I have 3 hours right now. A part of me wants to go by the pool. Oh, and the good news is that they said that like I can use this room right until they shuttle me back to the airport at 3 p.m. So that's good, because I was thinking like, oh, if I have to like check out at 11 or 12 o'clock like a normal hotel, that's going to be a bit annoying. But no, I get to have access to this room for the entirety of my layover. I've just looked at this card and apparently they have a spa, gym, sauna on the first floor. Why would I want to go to a sauna in Doha? I could just go outside, which I will because I want to go to the pool. Anyway, I've got 3 hours to kill. I want to do a small amount of exploration in Doha just for the novelty of being here. I think I'll go for like, I don't know, a half hour, 45-minute walk, maybe see if I can find a nice place to have a coffee or something. I do want to go to the rooftop pool just because I have my swimsuit and I also would like to get a little bit of work done, but I can also do that when I go back to the airport as well. So, what do we do first? I think we go explore because I haven't showered yet. Exploring, I'm assuming, is going to make me incredibly sweaty and I'm going to want to shower afterwards. So, for me at this point, that's what makes the most sense. Oh, I don't have my toothbrush on me. Oh. Do they even have toothpaste here? No. Oh no. Well, that's just dampened the mood a bit, hasn't it? Going out with a smelly, sweaty body I can deal with. Going out with like bed breath, not thrilled. Not thrilled at all. I'll try and give it the biggest water rinse that I can, but that's annoying, that one. The guy who was on the door at the hotel was flabbergasted by the fact that I wanted to go for a walk. He was like, do you want a car? I was like, no, I want to go for a walk. He was like, ma'am, you can't, it's too hot. And I was like, I think I can. I think it's possible. It's like 34 degrees. And he was like, but shall I take you in the car? And I was like, well, no, the whole point of going for a walk is to walk, funnily enough. Either it was an upsell of the taxi service or it was a genuine concern for my health and safety. But I think my safety's fine. Apparently this is the 3rd safest country in the world. That was their claim to fame in the lift that it said about Qatar, and that is a good claim to fame. I don't really know where I'm walking. I just saw that there was like a few monuments, like not ridiculously far from the hotel, so I'm just gonna make a sort of beeline in that direction and do a bit of a loop. I don't think I'll be out for more than an hour, mostly because I don't have sun cream on, because guess what? It was in my checked-in luggage. The architecture is insane. Just walking past / through the National Museum of Qatar. Oh, I have just located a Lime scooter. We're about to have some fun. Order a cappuccino and a big water. Yes, please. 309. Thank you so much. Bye. I just love room service. It never gets old. It's a real luxury, which even when I have the opportunity, I don't often do it. But since I've got credits, I might as well. Right, back in the buffet room. I've literally got like 5 to 10 minutes to choose something and eat it before my transfer. I've just gone for a very quick pesto pasta. Sadly, I didn't have time to go to the pool in the end because I was on a work call which went on for an hour and a half. But still productive. Not bad options here, you know. There was rice and curry, they had all the sides, they had dessert. If I had a bit longer, I would have a bit more.
I haven't hated this, you know. I feel like as time has gone on, over the past like 20 hours, I've become like more in acceptance of my situation and just like started to enjoy it. At first I was just feeling really hard done by because obviously I was like, I want to be in Kathmandu, not in Doha. But at the point you realise I have no control over this situation, you can just enjoy the situation that you are in, you know? Might as well.
So I didn't have time to go in the pool, but I have 5 minutes, so I just want to have a look at it. Let's just scope this out. Is it going to be as gross as what people have told me in my DMs? I'm just curious. Still in my hiking boots, by the way. I've got nothing else. There it is. They got the sun lounges. No one's up here. Got a lovely view. Oh, this isn't terrible. I just want to check the temp. Oh, it's actually like, it's cool enough. It's not cold, but it's not like warm. All right, not mad about it. They got showers up here and towels. Nice. That looked all right compared to what people told me in my DMs. What do you mean? My expectations were low, which is probably why I'm not overly mad about the situation. But if I was expecting to be put in like a 5-star luxury hotel, yeah, it's not quite that, but it's been fine. It's all free, I guess. But it was inconvenient. Didn't get to spend my day in Kathmandu. Okay, I'm now back at Hamad International Airport. I head for my flight. Second time lucky to Kathmandu. Now I already have my boarding pass. They gave it to me yesterday with the baggage tag on. So I am hoping that my check-in baggage is going to turn up in Kathmandu when I do. I'm going to head straight to departures, wherever that is. Maybe, just maybe, I'll have time to go in the lounge. That'll be nice. That is actually one of the fastest of any airports I've been to going through immigration and security. Took me all of like less than 5 minutes, which I was pleasantly surprised about, being such a big airport that you just don't really know what to expect. But it means I have a whole 2 hours to spend in one of my favourite lounges. So with my Revolut Ultra Pass, I get a Dragon Pass, which gets me like worldwide lounge access, most airports in the world. And the one in Qatar I've been to many times. It is the Al Maha Lounge, the one that's south. It's probably the airport lounge I've been to the most. I've flown loads with Qatar recently, so it's actually funny that this is the first time I've ever had like a missed connection. Maybe they have some deodorant in here actually, that would be really nice.